It used to be a fantasy. Cities buzzing with flying cars, humans zipping through the sky like comic book heroes. But that fantasy is crashing headfirst into reality. Right now, 15 real flying machines are being built, tested, and in some cases, already taking off. Not 10 years from now, not in some sci-fi lab, right now. Around the world, inventors, tech billionaires, and even backyard engineers are challenging everything we thought we knew about transportation. We're not talking about airplanes or helicopters. These are personal air vehicles, flying motorcycles, air taxis, jetpacks, and hybrid machines that blur the line between drone and car. And some of them look like they were stolen from a Marvel set. You're about to meet machines that can lift off from a driveway, land on a rooftop, and maybe even replace your car sooner than you think. The sky is not the limit anymore. It's the new highway. And the first glimpse of this future, it's sitting on 2 wheels, and it can fly. Next up, we meet a motorcycle that can hover 10 feet above the ground. And yes, it actually works. Japan shocked the world recently with the debut of a real-life flying motorcycle. It's called the X-Turismo, and it looks like something Batman would ride. Developed by a company named Winds Technologies, this beast runs on a hybrid propulsion system and uses 6 rotors to lift a rider into the air. It can hover and cruise at over 60 miles per hour, staying airborne for up to 40 minutes. The machine weighs around 800 pounds, and its developers claim it's already been sold in limited numbers. In fact, one of the first public test flights happened in Tokyo, in front of stunned media. No green screen, no wires, no CGI. A real human riding a real flying motorcycle in the middle of the city. But here's the kicker. This isn't even the most shocking machine on the list, because next, we're strapping on a jetpack and launching over highway traffic. It sounds ridiculous until you see it. Gravity Industries, a British company, has built a working jetpack that straps 5 engines to your body and lets you fly like Iron Man. Their chief test pilot, who is also the founder, has flown it over water, mountains, and yes, even highway traffic. The suit uses tiny jet turbines mounted on the arms and back, providing enough thrust to lift a person into the air and keep them there for up to 10 minutes. It's loud, it's fast, and it's very real. Military forces have taken interest. Emergency responders are testing it for rescue missions in hard-to-reach areas. The sight of a human rising off the ground with no wings, no rotors, and no runway, it breaks your brain. But that's the future knocking. And just when you think it can't get wilder, wait until you see a garage where all the cars can fly. It looks like something from a Billionaire's sci-fi bunker. A full garage filled with vehicles that don't just drive, they take off. Welcome to the test facility of PAL-V, a Dutch company that created a drivable gyrocopter. That's right, it's a car with rotor blades on top. The PAL-V Liberty has already passed several road and air tests, and it's legal to drive in certain countries. It can drive like a normal car, and when it gets to an open field or small airstrip, it unfolds its rotors and takes off. In the air, it reaches speeds over 100 miles per hour. On the ground, it parks like any other car. The goal? To have people commuting in these hybrid machines within the next few years. And if you think this is just for the wealthy elite, think again, because one tech billionaire is dumping hundreds of millions into something even crazier. Enter Larry Page. Yes, the Google co-founder. For over a decade, he's been secretly funding flying car startups under the radar. One of the most famous, Kitty Hawk. The now-retired project produced a sleek one-person flying vehicle that looked like a cross between a drone and a surfboard. And it flew. Over lakes, hills, and test grounds. This lightweight electric flyer stunned aviation experts. But Larry didn't stop there. His money also powered another project called Opener Blackfly, a strange winged pod that can take off vertically and fly for over 20 miles on a single charge. It doesn't require a runway, and the company says you don't even need a pilot's license to fly it. One thing's clear, billionaires are betting that the sky is the next frontier for personal transport. But what happens when these toys stop being toys and become taxis? Next up, we visit cities where flying taxis are already taking off. Dubai is already testing them, China has flown them with passengers, and the United States, it's not far behind. Flying taxis, also called EVTOLs, electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicles, are no longer prototypes sitting in warehouses. They're flying in the real world. One of the pioneers in this field is EHang, a Chinese company whose EH216 drone has actually flown over cities with real people inside. It's a 2-seater, fully electric, and controlled by an onboard computer, meaning no pilot. pilot. The passenger just selects a destination and the drone takes off, navigates through the sky, and lands vertically. Cities like Paris and Seoul are already building the infrastructure for drone taxi services, hoping to reduce ground traffic and air pollution. But while these sleek flying taxis aim for the public, the military has something far more aggressive in the air: hover bikes that can land on a battlefield. When the US Army gets interested in a flying motorcycle, you know things are getting serious. The Speeder, developed by Jetpack Aviation, is a real working hover bike built for military and rescue use. Think of it as a jet-powered dirt bike that doesn't need wheels. The Speeder uses small but powerful turbines to lift a pilot vertically into the air, fly over obstacles, and even land in rugged terrain. Unlike drones or helicopters, it's small enough to be carried in a truck and fast enough to zip in and out of hot zones. It can reach speeds of over 150 miles per hour and soar thousands of feet above the ground. Early versions are already in testing, and the company says a civilian version could follow soon. But while the military chases performance, one machine is turning heads for the opposite reason. It's almost completely silent. Noise has always been one of the biggest problems with flying vehicles. Helicopters, jets, even drones, they all scream through the air. But the Lilium Jet, a sleek flying machine from Germany, is changing that. It's a 5-seat electric aircraft powered by 30 small ducted fans hidden inside its wings. This design not only lets it take off vertically like a helicopter, but also fly horizontally like a plane, with almost no sound. The Lilium Jet is designed to be a high-speed air taxi, targeting business travelers and short-hop city connections. And yes, it has already flown. Test flights have shown it can reach over 180 miles per hour, with a range of nearly 150 miles. And while it looks futuristic, the next machine looks like something out of a sci-fi chase scene. Get ready to meet a police vehicle that doesn't just pursue criminals, it lifts off. When traffic gets too thick, what's a cop supposed to do? In Dubai, the solution might be a flying police hoverbike. Designed by Hoversurf, the Scorpion 3 is a one-person flying bike that the Dubai Police Department has actually tested. It uses 4 rotors, similar to a drone, and lifts a human officer into the air. In urban testing environments, officers have used it to simulate quick response missions, like reaching rooftops or hopping over highways. While it's not in full deployment yet, the very fact that law enforcement is experimenting with flying vehicles shows how fast this technology is being taken seriously. And if that sounds wild, wait until you see what's coming next. A hoverboard that actually exists and flies. It's not just a Hollywood fantasy anymore. French inventor Frankie Zapata shocked the world when he flew across the English Channel on a real-life hoverboard. His machine, the Flyboard Air, is a jet-powered platform that allows a human to stand and control flight with surprising precision. The video went viral, but make no mistake, this was no stunt. The Flyboard Air uses multiple small engines and a fuel backpack, letting the rider fly at nearly 100 miles per hour for several minutes. It's incredibly dangerous, hard to control, and nowhere near street legal. But it exists, and it works, and it opens the door to a new kind of personal flight, where the pilot stands, not sits. So how much would you pay for your own air car? Because coming up next is a machine that costs more than most houses combined. You read that right. There's a flying car that costs more than $5 million. It's called the Aska A5, and it's being built in California by a startup aiming to turn luxury commutes into airborne experiences. This isn't just a drone with seats. It's a full-size electric vehicle with folding wings, wheels, and rotors. It can drive on the highway, then transform into a plane and lift off from a vertical pad. The A5 offers space for 4 passengers and aims for a range of up to 250 miles in the air. It's designed with safety in mind too: redundant engines, a ballistic parachute, and emergency landing capabilities. Sure, it's not exactly affordable, but it's real, and it's already taking pre-orders. Still, the next invention might be even more shocking, because it's built not for billionaires, but for people with mobility challenges. Imagine a wheelchair that could fly. That's exactly what a team of engineers and accessibility advocates in Israel have been working on. The Air Mobility One is a real prototype, a hybrid wheelchair drone built for people who can't walk, but still want the freedom of personal flight. It's equipped with rotors, a joystick controller, and an intuitive safety system that balances stability and lift. Right now, it's still in the early stages of development, but the creators have already flown demo models indoors and in test fields. Their goal is simple: make the sky accessible to everyone, not not just the rich or able-bodied. But this idea of utility flying vehicles isn't stopping there, because someone just built a working flying tractor. Yes, this actually happened. In Slovakia, a team of engineers built a flying machine designed to assist with agriculture. It's not called a tractor officially, but it behaves like one. The air car, built by Klein Vision, completed its first intercity flight in 2021, then transformed back into a car and drove away from the runway. It's not designed just for show. The creators imagine a future where farmers or rural business owners can fly over large stretches of land, transport goods, or check on remote areas, all in one vehicle. Its wings fold up neatly, and the whole thing looks like a cross between a race car and a jet. It's real, it's certified, and it's just the beginning, because backyard inventors are entering the game too, and building wild working prototypes of their own. You don't need a billion-dollar lab to build a flying machine. All over the world, solo inventors and small teams are using drone parts, 3D printers, and a lot of trial and error to get airborne. One of the most famous is the Swedish Jetson 1, a personal eVTOL that looks like a stripped-down drone with a cage around the pilot. And yes, it flies. You can even buy one. Built for short joyrides and low-altitude cruising, the Jetson 1 weighs under 200 pounds and is designed to fly for about 20 minutes. It doesn't require a license in some countries, and it's already been delivered to a select group of early buyers. Then there's the SkyDrive SD03, a tiny single-seat flying car being developed in Japan. Backed by Toyota, this machine made a public flight in 2020 and aims for commercial use in the near future. The era of backyard flight is here. So where is all of this heading? These aren't dreams anymore. They're prototypes, test flights, early launches, and in a few lucky places, actual transportation. Flying cars, motorcycles, jetpacks, drones, and personal air vehicles are going from fantasy to future at breakneck speed. Within the next decade, some experts believe urban air mobility could replace up to 30% of short city car trips. The sky is being rewired, laws are being rewritten, cities are reimagining rooftop landing pads and drone highways. What once seemed absurd now feels inevitable. We are living through the dawn of personal flight. One machine, one launch, one jaw-dropping test at a time. So next time you're stuck in traffic, look up. Because the future of transportation, it's already flying above you. Imagine a flying machine originally designed to carry boxes, now modified to carry you. That's exactly what Elroy Air has done with its Chaparral aircraft. At first glance, it looks like a cargo drone, but it's big. Over 20 feet long, with 6 vertical rotors and a sleek winged body, the Chaparral was built to carry up to 500 pounds of freight through the air. But here's where it gets wild. Some developers and early testers have begun exploring passenger mods, because when a drone can lift that much weight and fly over 100 miles on electric and hybrid power, it's not hard to imagine swapping cargo for a human seat. Emergency responders are watching closely. In disaster zones, this kind of hybrid aircraft could carry supplies or evacuees, even when roads are blocked. And the tech behind it? Already working, already flying. It's not flashy, it's not sexy, but it's powerful, reliable, and surprisingly close to mainstream use. The future of flying vehicles isn't just about joyrides. It's about saving lives, moving freight, and filling the skies with purpose.